Apex is a fantastic player, a very good entry fragger. I think if he can focus more on his crosshair as opposed to trying to contribute to more of a strat-based style, they should be looking good.
Is it easy, clear-cut to decide on a winner here, Chad?
No, I think this one is a clear 50-50 because we don't know anything about TYLOO.
Right.
We know they have the potential and the firepower to do so, but we don't know what they're going to be delivering today.
And Sean, who do you got your pickups on before we get into it?
Oh, so 50-50. I'm going with Vitality, though.
Boom, let's do it. We're going to Inferno, and to do that will be the storytellers that are Sadakist and Henry Greer, taking us into the second matchup here at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice Major 2019.
Yes, absolutely we are, and it's two teams revitalized. One from almost nothing, Vitality coming through the open qualifier, although I'm going to put a caveat on that in the fact that they are very legendary players in themselves, some former major winners on that roster, in fact, and TYLOO, who's revamped their roster and are looking to make an impact. It's going to be quite the fair.
After what I've seen so far, I forgot what the major does to people, what kind of results it brings to the table. Who knows what's going to happen here? I've got Vitality winning this one, but you never know. TYLOO is such an unknown quantity. Every single event, we're not sure if they're going to blow everyone out the water or just crumble right in front of us. I hope Vitality can show us a decent level, though. I've put them as one of my teams I feel can make it through to the next stage. I want them to consider the names there, the experience, the pedigree. Surely at this point, they've had enough time now to make this team work.
Absolutely. Pedigree certainly even back to the source days and a former foe of yours, RPK.
Indeed.
On this map. But ZywOo is one that I need to talk about because let's not forget, there's a lot of hype around this guy. Certainly played well to get them to this point. They said on the desk they wanted him to step up, but also go back to last major in London. He played a show match. And all he just said was, no.
I don't know.
Every time he was interviewed by Freya, as it were, and it was hilarious. It made memes. Now he's one of the protagonists in the actual event itself.
Arguably one of the most skilled riflers we have at the entire major. That is quite a statement, and I'm putting myself out there, but trust me, this guy, if you're not aware, is one of the craziest killers we've got in CSGO right now. It's going to be a fun game to watch, but TYLOO, they pack a punch themselves. They haven't really got a weak mechanical player on their team either. I feel like this is going to be a great game. I feel like Vitality on Inferno, it's a map they play a lot. We know they can do damage here, and I've been really impressed with Alex especially. We talk about ZywOo all the time, but Alex has stepped up his game and actually brought in tactics from his old team at LDLC and kind of brought that to the squad and kind of changed their approach to the game. He seems to be very influential over the squad, and hopefully we see it all come together. Vitality for me, surely the winners here, but you just never know these sort of events. The Swiss system, as proven already, can be quite dangerous.
It can be. Fortunately, at this particular major, two things happen.
Okay.
Best of threes.
Indeed.
In all the big matches
Yep.
that account for elimination. We're going to a 3-week format instead of a 2-week for this 24-team format that's been introduced to the major. That allows us to do so. But on top of that, also the reseeding, which is done by an algorithm. I think Carmack said very carefully, based on an ELO.
Exactly.
But it is not an ELO, so
Sure.
it's an algorithm.
And to be
that's plugged
clear,
in.
the win is a win. It doesn't matter if it's 16-14
That's right.
or 16-1.
I was misled on that. We actually just had that conversation because when I first saw the way that it was done, we were plugging in random numbers, and I thought that it was accumulating the score. It was actually just giving them ones and zeros. So there you go.
Well, apparently TYLOO
Binary.
have not played this map as this squad officially, so that's going to be quite the exciting prospect, but I'm sure...
Coming off of a break when we don't have constant events, and certainly from a team outside of the region that we don't necessarily see as much, that may seem like an interesting thing, and it is, don't get me wrong, I haven't played it in official. Officials are very different mindset, different amount of pressure, whatever you want to call it. Certainly going against top opponents at this occasion, but you can't suggest that they haven't been practicing.
No, definitely not, and it actually might be an advantage for them. That means there's also 0 demos available. That's quite a scary prospect. Usually in those interviews we get players say, we're just going to focus on our own game, and that is true, but you do like to, have information on the opposition and see what they're going to do, what are their tendencies, where do their best players play, where are the AWPs going to be moving, what kind of picks they like to take. You don't have that information now. It's a best of one. You know you're a team that everyone's watching right now, if you're Vitality. A lot of backing, a lot of money invested here, and so far, not many results. They need to prove themselves this major if we're going to be excited about this team going forward. They are going to start on the CT side, but looks things, MBK's got the kits, the smoke, and that's pretty much it to speak of on the CT side. And we have got HEs, which suggest B presence from TYLOO here, and 4 players from Vitality challenging. ZywOo leading the charge here.
Bintet's going to start the fragging, but it goes the wrong way. We start the map with a team kill, unfortunately. Somebody got in his way, and he paid the price for it. MBK is going to respond. That means all the kills that count go against TYLOO until Summer finds NBK. TYLOO versus ZywOo. He's already pushed back as well on 3 HP. They nearly catch him as he retreats up banana. Meanwhile, Attacker has gone on the attack, and he'll try and probe B. Apex is going to hold inside of pit. Smart. That's experience. Don't leave pit open. They've already won the battle at banana. They're low on HP. They can't afford to overcommit and leave A open. So he just sits to make sure if they want to plant that side of the map, he's there. On top of that, he has clearly called and they've identified that they've left CT spawn open. So the rotations go back in that direction and they'll confront. As Attacker makes contact. Damage though, as it sits on Apex. The problem, he manages to bait away the attention, and that's when ZywOo shows up.
If he gets that kill, maybe there's a glimmer of hope there for TYLOO, but absolutely nothing now. It's up to Summer, who will be with the bomb at least. 35 seconds, but presumably gets dropped any second now. He does get caught towards the, of course, arch position, but he gets a kill, make it a couple. Maybe not all hope is lost, because remember, Apex is low HP in that pit. If he goes down, there is a chance. He's got to try and plant here. He'll get the bomb down. This isn't over just yet, necessarily. My goodness, Matt. It's going to take an ace, but it's not impossible.
It's certainly not. 10 HP on Apex. He's stuck in the pit. They knew where he was. Summer now almost has the advantage. Alex has to beat it back, and Summer starts it off brilliantly with an ace for TYLOO to steal the round back.
Oh, you don't see that every day. 4 versus 1, less than half HP. They spot him towards Arch, and then that's a reaction. I don't even blame Vitality for that. They just go, let's just finish him up, face him together, get it done. Sure, you lose those 2 kills. Okay, now it's a bit more tricky, but the fact he hits that shot towards the pit and still somehow finds a headshot towards quad as well, that is remarkable. Unbelievable scenes. There was, for me, almost 0% chance. When it is towards that arch position, I thought there's always no way. If he gets a bomb down, that's fantastic. If he gets anything more than that, it'll be show-stopping, and that certainly was an ace to kick things off as Vitality now go for the Force Buy. They'll have CZ's Scouts. They have set a bit of cash. I'd say Force Buy maybe a little bit too quickly. They've got about $500 left over, so they haven't gone all in. But that's going to rattle Vitality after what seemed like an absolute locked-in round.
Alex backs away. That's an incredible performance. Second ace we've seen. Both of them came very early in the games that we've had on this A stream as well. It was the second round last time for Liaz, and this time it's to start it off with a bang. That's incredible. Alex playing a crossfire with RPK. They'll hold out the A site, wait for the full commitment, don't want to peek out. They want them to actually be between the two, and it works out for RPK. Finds 2 himself, but gets taken down immediately after by Xcrit, and bomb to be planted immediately thereafter. So good hold from Mac 10, from Attacker to take down Apex. SMG is still lovely to build up economy with HP. Nearly get caught out by ZywOo.
Yeah, that could have been the cue to go for it. But with that smoke down, doesn't pull the trigger. There is a pillar in front of him as well, just bear in mind. But still, had it all lined up, as now it looks like TYLOO have got the 2-0. As MBK looks for any sort of exit frags here, looking to take a couple of guns down with him, potentially, if anything's there is possible. The Galils come hunting. They should be able to trade out this kill with a Mac 10. They know where ZywOo is. Lots of cash for Attacker in that particular round, and an eco for Vitality is on the cards. What a way to kick things off. We had Fnatic crashing out against Vici, Renegades overcoming Avangar, and now TYLOO looking amazing in that pistol. An ace from Summer to take down one of the biggest talking points of this stage of the major, Vitality. No one's sure what to expect. We know what we want to see, but will we get it? That's the big question. But they are a team that's experienced, man. We have to remember that these aren't young guns. These are guys that have been around for 10 plus years at this point. They've had these sort of starts before. They know how to mentally reset themselves. It's just really not an ideal time for that to come in. The very first round of your major goes down in that sort of manner. But either way, the grenade stack towards middle does find a little bit of damage, but not really much to write home about. They haven't invested much more than PT50s and HEs here as they hold up in a 3-man stack towards B.
Three-man stack toward B, but Apex is now the only one left there. They're going to rotate back through CT without that early aggression on Banana, and they'll rely on his nade to try and find some damage. We're in the early stage of the major, so might as well throw some statistics about the entire event towards you, because there's many that have been popping up. There's many that are certainly worth talking about. Oldest players, that's one we often touch on. Get this. If I played, Henry,
Okay.
there's only 4 players older than me.
That would be
Gobby, Zeus, Edward, and Forrest.
Yeah.
Get Right is now in the top 10 oldest players. I remember when that guy was baby-faced, fragging out like a madman in 1.6.
It's weird, isn't it, to think how much time has actually passed by and how long these guys have been fragging for. Speaking of frags, it's Summer who's causing a diversion here. He's by himself towards the A side of the map, and as you can see, they've got a nice open bomb site towards the B area. That's absolutely perfect. He gets a kill, gives away a Galil. Sure, that's a rifle, but the CTs won't be over the moon. It'll save them a bit of cash going forward, but it's not the most ideal weapon they'll hold on the defensive side. It's going to be 3-0 as the CTs will look for some exit frags and hopefully boost their chances of winning the next round. And let's have a look at the overall complexion. You can see there will be the Galil in the hands of Alex. Interesting to see whether he can do damage with that next round, if he even saves it. Might just want to go for a couple of kills and see what can be taken down. As Attacker will continue to find so much with that MAC-10. Finally, he is shut down. He got 3 kills in the previous round, just the 1 this time, but that's fine. He doesn't want to use the MAC-10 really next round anyway.
Somebody swinging back through on the MAC-10 will at least collect. Ooh, okay, fair enough, just 1. TYLOO can actually justify picking up that MAC-10 and try to get some frags with it for some additional economy. Scrutinize that possibility, and they'll take down Alex, to be fair. But guns coming up for Vitality either way. Back to my previous point, another player that was brought in as the young North American superstar, Jordan Gilbert.
Oh, what a man.
He was, wow, he is now. He was almost a child when he started out.
I remember when he first released that frag video, and that's when it came on everyone's radar in Europe, especially when they started looking like, oh wow, this guy is unbelievably good.
He's in the top 8 oldest, top 10 oldest, well, in top 8 as well, to be fair, but top 10 oldest players in the major. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. Well, there he is. He'll be filling in for complexity this time. And last time he stepped in for, I think it was Mouse Sports, I believe. They managed to get to, was it the semi-finals or was it grand final?
I think that was grand final. I'm trying to remember.
Well.
I totally remember, but vaguely I can't. What event was that? Someone will tweet us. Definitely recall. MBK backs off. Molotov goes down. That'll clear the position. We are now submerged in
night vision.
slime. Well, it's okay. That's actually cooler. Night vision's cooler. I was going to say there's a new slime grenade in the game, but yeah.
Flubber mod.
Start bouncing around the map. Forget KZ. You just bounce.
Well, no damage done. Quite a quiet procedure here. This is the first gun round, orb for TYLOO. He is a man who can do it all, let me tell you. Rifles, orbs, pistols, you'll see him light it up throughout the course of this major. Not the greatest start for them, not a single kit. And that's why TYLOO is being a little bit more active than usual, trying to get some intel here. Checks the boiler. Will he look towards the underpass, perhaps? He do well. Nice clean kill. Takes down Bentet. And at this point, they've got the advantage. That's what they're looking for. Can hold their crossfires as the time ticks away.
Somebody looking back inside of the smoke. Smokes that no longer reveal red dots. I like to cure for red dots, just like anybody else. NBK, he'll take down somebody. Set for the crossfire, as well as Apex pops out from coffins. That's exactly when MBK decides to strike. Xgrit and Summer, not sure which way to look and which way was a bigger threat. Both go down. It's just left to attackers. So as soon as the guns come out, Vitality pick up where they almost left off on the pistol. Had they won that, we could almost have them in a dominant situation. But what a result that was for the Ace to come back and haunt them.
Well, it looks like they'll be safe for now. Vitality with a clean sweep there. It's all down to the opening pick of TYLOO. That enabled them to fall back and shove them towards that B side. Nothing really happening there for TYLOO whatsoever. But, Matt, Summer's got... Oh, this actually doesn't look correct. I think our little... There it is. That's more what it should be. I was about to say, he's got 16k. That doesn't make any sense. Just had to hit refresh, and there we go. It is going to be a low money situation for TYLOO. They did lose a few players against those pistols, and we're going to have a Galil out. We're going to have a MAC-10 for somebody. This is them just trying to reset Vitality while they can. It's early stages. Might as well take these little gambles and see what can be done. Here's MBK boosted up on the second oranges there and doing a great job with Apex. You can see the smokes deployed at the perfect time. You've got to smoke down at that choke point with 20 seconds on the clock. You've done a very good job at conserving all of your grenades and making sure you make things very uncomfortable for that final commitment. So rough start. A pistol round they absolutely should have won, but now they're on the board. You see TYLOO there at the top, 4 kills with 3 deaths. Same story for MBK, it's just the ADR a little bit higher for TYLOO. Summer was 6 and 2. This is the first timeout. We'll have to look as to what the final buy looks like. Summer yet to buy, he's got a Glock, no armor right now. Same story for Bentet, he's got 4K. You assume he gets the AK out, considering 2 of his teammates out have already done that. AWP is Zywu. Now, this is where things become a little bit more mobile and agile for him. We know he's a player that likes to find those opening picks. You'll see him at every point and every facet of the map as the game continues. He needs to find that confidence first. He needs a few successful rounds and stabilize himself financially before we can really get into that fifth gear and see whether he can be the dominant force we expect him to be.
Well, and we've talked him up on the rifles, you were saying one of the best riflers in the server right now. And he's so capable on the AWP as well. He's really someone that is going to be a talent.
Well, there's so enigmatic players. Device, Simple, and now Zywu. You think about the absolute greats, they can do it all. They're not just like, this guy is like the world's best AWP, the world's best rifle. The absolute best players, they absolutely can do it all. Same sort of like Nico as well. He can AWP like a madman at the same time. It's not just like they have one discipline they're very good at. The absolute best players do have everything covered.
People may forget that Nico can because he plays alongside Guardian, who's obviously pretty much stuck and set with the AWP, but he certainly can. He showed that in mouse sports at times when he had someone perhaps more willing to relinquish the position, such as Chris J, as it were, when he was in mouse sports. Chris J and mouse sports, there's something to talk about. Not here. That's unbelievable. And Chris departs finally after being what was, as far as many people concerned, were not the star player, but the franchise player that he'd been there for so long.
What a difference a year makes.
It's absolutely
high
true.
flying, top of their game, mid stages, 2018 didn't seem like anything could really go wrong for them. Then roster changes, questionable decisions, bad results, and now not at this major and changing lineup. It's gutting to see they are a bit of a staple now of CSGO, but the show must continue. As now, I think this must be a technical timeout as we're just looking to get back into things.
That's exactly what event it was. Tristan on Twitter has let us know it was Belo Horizonte, and they were in the final.
That's what it was. Yes, the final. That was pretty crazy. Nothing comes back after, what, that 2-year hiatus or something like that? Maybe 1.5 years.
That was also with one of your pugging mates. Croman was playing in that.
That's all right, wasn't
phase.
it?
I really... How does that guy come in? They do so well with him on board, and then he's just forgotten again. How has no one picked that guy up? That's a talent.
It absolutely is. He wasn't like the superstar player, but he was so capable with mid-rounds and making sure he anchored his positions correctly, and he always just looked calm. Definitely a big star for the future, though. Someone you're going to see in one of these great teams. Hopefully in the next year, we'll see. For me, I thought they should have kept him on and kind of built him up and used him as a mold to turn him into a world's great player. But we'll see what happens for him. I'm sure he'll be at the next major as we continue. We haven't got an update as to what's going on. We had a few server issues to kick things off. Obviously, the new patch released last night to address the smoke issues that were caused on Twitter. Just goes to show you the power of social media, Matt. I didn't think there would be a change this close to the tournament, but there you go.
Well, there was an interesting point on the desk as well, though. Similar to when we used to see players often complain or voice concerns over things on Twitter before actually speaking to the tournament in which they were actually at, and the person oftentimes that they could have brought it to their attention of was in the room with them. It might have been a little bit eager. If the social media push is actually what encouraged Valve to do it, hey, fair play, but they have a players association. They have contact.
It's true.
Maybe that's not enough. I don't know. Hard to say. I don't know what Valve's reasons were in the end for doing it, but it was the right move. That's the bottom line.
Well, the fact they've got all the phones out suggests we might have had Steam disconnect from the net for a second, and now, if you're not aware, the phones are taken away just for there's no kind of, I don't want to say cheating or any sort of foul play going on, but then to log into Steam, you need your phone with a 2-step verification, so it suggests Steam disconnected. Now they need to relog back in.
You're fine to say cheating because it is done so that you cannot cheat. As simple as that.
It's just sort of like it's not cheating in the traditional way, like it's an aimbot or something like that. It could be something like you could get information, but I guess you could have the cheat on the phone as well. Not really sure how that all works.
Apparently, I don't know literally anything about it. I've only ever used like God mode in Duke Nukem 3D.
Okay.
I'm like that guy, or Money and like know, single player games. Apparently there was a cheat once where if you saw someone through the wall or you wouldn't see them, but your crosshair would be pointed at someone, your phone would vibrate.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I expect.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane, the level that some absolute scumbags will go to out there. But that's why we take these precautions, just to be sure. All fair. I was going to go with something like all is lost at love and war, but all fair play. I don't know. Look, it's just fair. That's what it is.
It's just fair.
That's all it is.
But we need to get them out of their contained environment, the phones, just to log back into Steam and hopefully be back underway very shortly. If you are just joining us, waking up in whichever part of the world you reside. There's been some exciting Counter-Strike play today. It's the opening day of the Katowice Major in 2019. We had some interesting results, to say the very least. The one that stands out the most and maybe stings the most of the pick'ems around the world is Fnatic losing to Vici in quite a dominating fashion, actually. It was like 16-8, 16-9, and that's ruined everyone's chances, I think. I think most people had Fnatic going 3-0 and Vici going 0-3, so that's like everything going wrong at once.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. There's a lot of people that did. Certainly the most common I saw at 0-3 was Vici, but Cloud9's the other one that people had 3-0, which is
still lives on.
Potentially, yes. We haven't seen them yet. I did see some social media posts of Flusha and Valens walking through the building, so they're certainly here. Everyone's here. Everyone's somewhere beyond these walls around me in this labyrinth that's set up for so many teams to be participating and playing. And in the Legends stage, we do move on toward the Spodek, but for now we are at the studios here in Katowice. I've been in Katowice 4 years in a row, and I've never been to these studios. The ESL, they're actually ESL offices. There's like a compound, similar to what Burbank used to be, like a compound set up here.
Yep, absolutely. It's cool. There's lots of different people we haven't worked with before, but all doing a great job. And this is obviously the first day. And the only issue we've had is a server issue, which was unavoidable. Everything else is looking...
And again, I'm going to back it up because I know that there's going to be a lot of people jumping all over, well, potentially I haven't really looked, but jumping all over blame and pointing fingers. I would rather take that delay now to fix the bug and get it out of the way.
Most majors have this sort of like a situation on the first day where there has been something that's been pointed out. Remember the major with the jump bug with Big, for example, that was a big talking point as the tournament went on. That didn't necessarily affect delays or anything, but there's always something like that that kind of starts a conversation, and whether it's addressed or not, that's always something that's going to be maybe having an impact. And today it did. Obviously with the patch, there wasn't a massive amount of time to kind of implement it, but it seems like we are all good to go. You can hear them readying up. This is Vitality, the French star-studded roster up against TYLOO. The upset potential is off the scale with the Asian scene, and currently find themselves 3-1 up on the T side of Inferno, but they did lose that first gun round, which leads them to this position. They have 2 AKs and 2 MAC-10s, a UMP. You'd expect something very fast at this point, an execution off the bat, maybe to try and get some B control and just get in towards the bomb site. We shall see, but ZywOo's got that all, and we know what he's capable of, as he knows he's got a bit of freedom to face towards those T steps. Yeah, likelihood of an AWP being available after losing so many players previously was low, so he faces right down there. Actually looked like he was going to hit the shot. It doesn't connect, and now we get into a situation with 3 players towards the B bomb site. You can see Alex is setting up a flashbang there. If his teammates feel any sort of threat, he'll flash over, and then they can battle after that. He is definitely in a support role right now as they hold 3 players towards B, but nothing really there from the T point of view.
Utility is the name of the game at Banana. We reference them so much because they are so structured, but Astralis has really shown us that.
They kind of designed how the CT side should be played with the grenades. They kind of put the blueprints out there first to show this is how the incendiary should be throwing the HEs, and we're at the 1 minute mark. We said something quite fast to be coming through, and here's the final commitment.
RBK, all get played. Flash actually stepped out, found somebody. Attacker gets the response though, 2 for him. ZywOo's still a little bit occupied in middle, missing a few shots. That opens up time as an opportunity. Not that they've taken him down, but time for Summer to work inside of the A site without that AWP rotating over and giving his attention, as he has done exactly that now. He'll play from Moto. I don't know that they're fully aware of Summer switching back over to the small pit side because ZywOo still seems focused on the quad. If he steps out even a little bit too far, Summer might have found him, but he had to get aggressive and start to make a move toward the site. Apex caught him off, and it's Bintet. I haven't said his name much so far this game, and he won't get much attention this time either. Flash out in front of him, and Apex takes him down.
Good news for Vitality. Another clean round there. 3 players survive, and they've guaranteed an eco out of TYLOO going forward. 3-2 overall. They should tie things up. They've got a couple of AK-47s. Always beneficial on the CT side of Inferno. Everyone's talking about the AUG, but AK is always going to be king regardless. That's always got the one-tap potential with a headshot. AUG can kill one-tap, but it has to be literally down their throats with the weapon. But here we go then. There's an MP9 out for Alex. He knows a Rico here. He can farm some cash, maybe get a bit aggressive and go for a 3K. Get some money in the bank as the incendiary goes towards the unpassed position. You can see that locks him in, denies backup. And you can see the procedures now as they go for banana control on the CT side as MBK making sure that they don't have any sort of presence towards this side of the map and hopefully shove them into the 3-man stack towards A. But they'll hold up for now. They've got the AKs. They feel confident in these sort of heads-up spots. It would be deadly if Deagles are against them, but PT-50s shouldn't be a problem.
Apex still peeking down. Does spot out attacker, NBK, Apex, NBK, good hold. Good spray, good control, and it's 3-3. So now that the guns have come out, yeah, Vitality's starting to stretch their legs and really show off that they have that skill, they have that experience, and I'm excited. I genuinely am for this. I like that we see, first off, a new composition of team. A lot of older players in it. I was really the only real new blood involved. But just a new org to come in and make an impact. I think it's great to expand our horizons to, again, for those of you who don't know, Vitality, who's a massive brand in other esports. Lots of involvement elsewhere.
Yeah, they seem to be making big moves. A team I wasn't, or an organization I wasn't really aware of until these CSGO guys appeared, but looking into them, it seems like there's massive structure and investment behind them, and I guess it's only fitting that these group of players have that sort of backing behind them.
I don't know Owl because Overwatch decided to take away all of the branding that organizations have built up for years and franchise them out to cities where they don't play, so I don't know if they're involved there or not. But you've got, I think they're in League of Legends, I think they're in Dota as well, Rocket League for sure, they're partnered with Renault Formula 1 for Formula 1 esports. They're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised. They're definitely in PUBG. I've casted them lots in PUBG, and I'm sure they'll be an Apex Legend soon, just like everybody. Smoke down. Look at NBK go. Gets aggressive. Somebody's found behind the smoke as a result of that as well. He sprayed the corner. He committed to it, which oftentimes is a risk. If you're a solo commit and you spray that aggressively, if you run out of ammo and you're wrong, they hear you reload, they're going to jump all over you. So he gets away with one, but he is traded in the end.
Well, ZywOo now alone towards B. Needs to be very careful here. If he goes down, the side is completely open, and that's exactly what happens. And they can't even justify a rotate at this point. They're going to have to hope that the terrorists fall back and go towards A. It's Alex. Maybe finds a frag here with the MP9. Precise shot as well. Gets himself an AK. So now the round's back on. The fact the bomb hasn't been planted yet, they might actually have the discussion on whether they can go for this retake. Now it's been leveled out to a 3-on-3. Smoke down towards CT spawn. You can see Zachary and Bente both low HP as well. This round's back on. I don't think Vitality were really that interested in going for the retake, but absolutely are now. Apex with the wallbang through the coffins. Sends Zachary to his death, and now the plan comes through. This time it looks like it should be successful. Slightly different plan coming through. Bente with just 16 HP and no grenades as he goes for the long flank here. This might be a little bit too late. We will find out.
Summers holding off dark side corner. But Bentet, this is a huge flank. This is get right-esque at Starladder. He's going to go all the way behind him. They have no idea. Gets the gun out. Alex realized it. He looked to Banana, knew the timing was off, found the kill as well. And oh, line up though. Summer again. Again, he clutches it back, this time with 3. All as he was solo and the bomb was ticking.
How does that happen then? They line up for him, and it was Summer who was the hero in the pistol, and he's done it again in such a pivotal moment of the game. They go in with bare bones, with the AKs, a little bit of utility. It comes down to what looked like an unwinnable situation. Bente removed and detected completely. They knew where Summer was, but the lineup comes in and he manages to get 3 right at the end there. And it's going to be them taking the lead once again. 4-3, but enough money to buy as Vitality did win 3 rounds in a row. They've got the AWP out for ZywOo, and you can see Attacker on that Mac 10. He's got a couple of players with helmets in front of him. That's Apex and NBK, to look out for them. Incredibly vulnerable to those Mac 10s available, and the UMP for that note. We'll see a smoke towards Arch, and this looks like a fast player as MBK is aware of it. Challenges, surely traded out at this point, but it's a rock'em sock'em round here. ZywOo close range of the orb, only good for 1. It's so scrappy here on Inferno, but it looks like Vitality are coming out on top. Just about. It goes right down to the 2 versus 1. Apex low HP. You can see them fighting right in front of the smokes there. CT's taking the game towards TYLOO and come out on top. It's going to average things up to 4-4, and overall, it should be an eco here, I assume, from TYLOO. They've got 2K. They're going to get 2K again next round for losing this one. And they'll be able to get the AKs and basic utility out. So full eco here. But what an absolute barn burner of a round that was. Back and forth. Everyone everywhere. And it's fighting. And every single jewel available to them. So there we have it. I think it's just 1 deagle here. Only purchase of note. That's for Summer. I think he deserves it after some of the rounds he's been posting so far.
Nade down, meanwhile, with the pistols. Nade down at Banana, I should say, excuse me. Meanwhile, the pistols go up toward top middle, try and take over the mid wall. Rotation off early. Vitality seems very confident in their ability to control Banana, and they've had these rotations quite early on in numerous rounds. I'm sure that they're well aware of the economic situation as well. Bit of a reset just came in. Probably probably not going to have weapons. Good position for Alex. Backside of the ledge, over the railing. He can fall off it quickly. Didn't find a kill, but gets away. It's similar to, I guess if you want to call Rampant, Nuke. Very different circumstances. Even still, he fell off and got a kill. They find 2 on entry. It's somebody who's got an AUG picked up, found 2 kills, and Summer compliments that. They've got the man advantage in the bomb down.
And the AUG as well. This is actually looking quite promising. This was essentially a full eco with that 1 deagle from Summer that opens things up, and now they have the advantage. If MBK goes down, it's not even worth ZywOo going for it. As he now finds the rifle, at least he'll have a bit more fighting power, close range. First kill comes in for MBK. Is that going to bait out the rest of TYLOO? Absolutely does. ZywOo with it all to do, but he hasn't shown his best form here today, and it's TYLOO winning out and pretty much a full eco there, man. That's 1 deagle, a P250, 3 Glocks. Obviously, the tightest choke point on the map, that Apartment's position. You get a 1 dig there, and you can funnel out of that position. You can actually take advantage very quickly. He finds the rifle in the pit, and of course, that pit position, if you have a weapon like the AUG, you can actually do a lot of damage. ZywOo, for me, it's not looking like the AUG's really doing that much work for him. He's missing quite a lot of shots, and somebody certainly not. That was fantastic. That was the turning point. Apex goes down. He Molotovs ZywOo out of the situation towards Library. They reposition and win out the round. Really exciting stuff here on Inferno.
Very impressive, solid performance to actually catch off the fact that they had that aggressive stance on the pit. Certainly can't account for one player overrunning them as we've had a timeout used on either side. TYLOO in the lead yet again. Summer sits on 10 kills. 8 of them came in 2 rounds. But you can't discount the fact that he has 104 ADR, even in rounds where he's not contributing at that level. And both of those were incredible clutches.
This is a weird one to analyze. If TYLOO come out on top of this one, there's so many asterisks by it. It's like, well, they did win a 4 versus 1, and then this horrible round happened after that. The reset kept coming through. Like, Vitality have got really unlucky in some of these scenarios, but here we go. The double stack towards the sandbags. Will it work out? Apex does have a chance for a kill there, but somebody way too quick. He'll get both the frags there, but Alex fighting back. They don't want to go for the trade at this point because that would actually level things out. They're going to maintain the advantage. The 4 on 3, that's absolutely fine. As ZywOo pushes towards second middle. There's a kill there available for him, and he nails it. Perfectly done.
Ooh, just barely got away. Actually thinks about going back, and
that's
perhaps
good.
wise that he did, because he gets away from the nade. They've retreated. They would not expect a pistol player to have the gall of re-peeking in that position, so he absolutely could catch them off. Summer's gotten a little bit farther away than perhaps he was hoping and expecting, and as a result, if he peeks out top mid and he's actually looking toward the mid wall, could get caught, but getting the bomb. AK picked up. That's a huge change in the round. Molotov immediately goes down as well to buy time away from the objective. Now, there is 38 seconds, and that's about a 7-second timer, but a smoke on top of it as well. And Alex thinks that they're surely going to be looking back toward that. He's wrong in assuming so, because Bintet, still with his attention turned to the site. Smart call from TYLOO not to overreact, not to put all their attention back exactly where ZywOo wanted it, but he still has the bomb held. Bintet, good trade. You have to give them credit for that. They played it together, and they knew exactly what they had to do.
I'm surprised that Vitality even go for the push towards B there. I guess they're trying to back up ZywOo and allow him to actually have a bit of control of the situation, but it seems strange that they had them locked in towards B. They had the bomb down, run that clock down surely, but yes, great fragging potential here from Bintet, considered one of the most skilled players from the region, as he managed to get the double spray down. I thought there was still a chance of ZywOo here, but that's what it's all about. That was almost a sacrifice from Zachary there. He's jumping around the corner with the AWP, knowing he's going to die, just so the trade can come in quickly. And now the full eco comes through. 6-4 on the T side of Inferno. TYLOO are on fire. And it's going to be Vitality with just PD50s here. No armor, no nades, and a lot of utility heading in their direction. MBK can only sit back and watch as he tries to boost himself up to that same position as he was before.
Attacker already up inside of the boiler room, but again, around the corner. We've seen this aggression. Vitality will do the exact same thing. Bruce Pro-esque, we used to say, when they stack up toward the boiler in this fashion, when you want to get aggressive, to hold off top of alt mid and get the information that top mid based on the noise cues. Really work out this time, unfortunately. Solved so far from TYLOO, and Alex, holding behind the cart, has to watch, make sure find a headshot when they wrap around. That's not going to be possible. As Bintet yet again finds a kill. Bomb to go down, Hank.
You like to see it, but MBK certainly doesn't. And not really much he can do with this scenario, I'm afraid, but this is getting a little bit scary for Vitality. Now 7 rounds picked up. They haven't been the cleanest. They haven't been the most methodical. They've been quite exciting and furious at times as well. The fact that Summer's pulled off so many heroic situations, the pistol round, the 3K with a double spray down as well on the B-bomb site. They've certainly had luck on their side, but talent as well, as now MBK looking for any sort of exit frag he can get. That's about as promising a situation he'll find himself at this point. If he can get one AK out of this, that'd be great. We can see them all exiting very efficiently through CT spawn. Didn't lose a single player there. Plenty of cash going forward now for TYLOO. They can actually have full control of the situation. They can dictate the pace of the game because, yes, Vitality have a buy here, but as you can see on the right-hand side of your screens, they're averaging, what, like 4,200 per player? That's enough to get an M4 Kevlar without helmets and some basic utility. Not everything you need for a full round of Inferno as Summer continues to batter them here with the AK-47.
Solid again is, yeah, you're right, he goes up to 13 kills now total.
Oof, 2 SMGs and a FAMAS. They've opted for utility instead of firepower.
I can kind of understand that on Inferno. We talk about it, there's so much utility required to hold off Banana to really make sure you establish map control. And in doing so, playing positions like Banana, first off, you get control of it, you can rotate off and play closer angles on A, or you play the corner and it's a close fight. It's a bit of a risk, but it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out, though, is it?
Well, it was a bit of a gamble anyway. MBK towards those sandbags. He gets Molotov out of position, couldn't quite coordinate himself. Some backup. He goes down to 36 HP, couldn't retreat. He'll be the first player to drop. He does take somebody down to 35, though, so it wasn't a complete loss. But now, poor at Apex, got to defend the entirety of the B-bomb site with just an MP9, a smoke, and a flash. Godspeed, my friend, as they're coming for you, and he'll have to play in front of the smokes here and hope he can get a double kill. Nothing else will do at this point.
That's an interesting, yeah, directly in front of the smokes. I thought he might try and cross over and get inside of the site. He even faces away from it, expecting a flash. As soon as he anticipated the fact that they may not even be arriving on B, he goes back in the smoke. That's when they do. You pointed it out. Great timing on the flank. Unfortunately, they were all looking that direction. They hadn't fully committed onto the B site, and I don't think they're going to either. With those kills, it's back toward mid and RPK.
He can win this. He can get 3 kills here. He's capable, Matt. He's got little to no bullets there. Had he sprayed maybe a second after, there could be more to speak of there, but that's going to be the round. RPK, definitely one of those players you see in those sort of scenarios and can cause absolute chaos, but 1 kill won't be enough, and it was a great flank from Vitality, timed to perfection, but just the reaction there from TYLOO, the fact they all 180 and aware that the fact there's 2 players at the bottom of Banana, nail both of them, head back towards A. Of course you're going to, you know the rotations have worked out in your favor, and the likelihood of the last 2 players being a B is tremendous. And Apex will just have to save this AWP. At least that's something as a loss finish starts to rack up here. They've lost a half now. This will be 8-4 in favor of TYLOO on the T side of Inferno. So much money available to them. They won't be eco this half anymore. And Apex can save the orb, give it to ZywOo, but he's not posting huge numbers here. He's got double digits. He's top fragging, 10 and 9. We'll have a look if there's any other anomalies. RPK 5 and 10, that 1 frag there. Got him his 5th on the board, but that's about it. Coming to the dying stages of this first half now, and I assume we'll see a timeout here from the French boys and see what can be done. Not much, though, to be honest. You can see they've got 3K per player. You're already 8-4 down. They're going to have to take this one on the chin with a partial buy, maybe. They've got that orb.
Just to go back as well, we talked briefly about this. TYLOO, with this lineup, has yet to play this map, but we've just come in after a substantial break, and obviously they've been playing it.
Well, the thing is, it's not like we can say, oh, wow, TYLOO are an amazing Inferno team. They've had some really crazy moments go on here. It's not like it's in the strat book to win a 1v4 in the pistol, right? Like, that was Vitality's round, like, hands down. That was a massive mistake from them. And
you could argue Summer clutching the 1v3. You could argue a number of rounds.
But at the end of the day,
go in with the 2 AUG kills.
Absolutely. But it's at the end of the day, if they win the map, that's it. This is the major. This is what it's all about. These mistakes happen in the biggest possible tournament. You can't do anything but blame yourselves at that point. But they do take the partial buy, just to note, around this orb. They don't fully invest. Suggest they're not panicking just yet. But ZywOo knows if they're going to win this round, it's all down to him. 10 kills to his name so far. I want to see those numbers boosted, as we'll see him looking towards top of middle.
Somebody cops
Grenades.
Couple of nades, yeah. Swallow on that shrapnel. So the first kill comes conveniently, without much risk as well. And that will substantially benefit the 4 players on the pistols. It allows ZywOo the possibility as well to be more confident in staying over toward A. Interestingly, he's going to play that op immediately inside of the site. So he's actually playing close angles rather than trying to get information to get a pick early, potentially make it a 5-on-3 before they hit the site. He's almost giving them the site, and they want to play it in chaos. They're even going to try and slow it down with a reverse smoke, knowing and hearing that the smoke has gone down toward the arch from the T side. Now it's turned back. Now he gets aggressive, I should say. He's actually toward quad. Excuse me, that's not quad side at all. It's going to be ZywOo with Execute down and bomb in his possession once more. He's a little bit timid in how he holds. Knows they're behind this smoke over toward Library, but unaware of Summer's position. This could catch him off because the AK catches him not looking, and bomb is back in their possession until MBK arrives. Full on the flank. Inside of the site, it's Alex and RPK. They hold it all together.
Finally, a bit of luck there for Vitality, and we wanted to see ZywOo pick things up and take matters into his own hands. He certainly did that with the AWP, but I want to talk more about that grenade play towards the B-bomb side. Notice there were 2 players there, and they get an HE kill without any sort of pistol damage at all. That suggests they perfectly set up a play. To get more than 50 damage on a single HE is incredibly difficult. It has to be perfect timing, good communication. They both nail the grenade, bouncing one off the skybox as well to land by the half wall. That funnels him towards ZywOo's AWP. He's aware of that. Aggressive position, watching that boiler room. Nails the shot, gets the bomb, and then is back and forth. But overall, Vitality was very comfortable, and it gets him right back in this game now as they get AKs pretty much across the board, and ZywOo's AWP. And we head into round number 14. TYLOO already had a fantastic half at this point. They'll be happy with 8 rounds on the board, but of course, you always want a little bit more. They still have a chance of getting double digits if they can pick this round up. We'll see how it goes down. Banana control granted, and they actually left 1 player alone on the B side. That's going to be MBK with the M4. He's got his smoke remaining, so he's fine for another 30 seconds or so. He's starting to detect a threat, so he'll have to drop that smoke now. Lining himself up with the flashbang. Doesn't actually nail that one. Luckily, no one there to actually receive it. And we'll rotate towards Coffins. All 5 players now, Matt, on the B side of the map for TYLOO, and it's just MBK to defend them. No one rotating as of yet. Apex begins the rotation, but it's a little bit too late. MBK has to frag hard.
Certainly has so far. 2 through the edge of the smoke. In fact, Big Ted calling out as he was retreating. Apex, we can see the fact that they've crossed over. Goes a little bit late with his spray through the smoke, but MBK will play off that. Through he goes indeed. He finds both as he turns back. Bomb gets planted, so money enough, but they'll get the defuse.
It was an ace as well from MBK. He gets it all done. I built him up saying he had to deliver there, and he said, you know what? Why don't I just kill everyone and the rotations don't have to come through whatsoever? That was really, really nicely done. The fact that you can get 2 kills from Coffins especially, this is one of the hardest positions to play. You can see what he's doing. He having to look into the wall there and be on top of the smoke, dodge the flashes, hit 2 kills, deny the plant, then push through his own flashbang there. It was really, really well done. You can see him coming through, finding the blind opposition, and just great awareness, good aim. That's going to really raise morale now in the French camp as MBK, one of the big names in CSGO in general, finally showing us what he's made of there and actually getting his 16th kill on the board. He flies into the #1 position.
Solidly done. That's needed now more than ever. You're right. Finally, some luck going their way. We saw so much of that for TYLOO. Vitality get one of their own. Great pushback through the smoke as well as they're planting. So interestingly enough, Henry, here's one for you. Both teams have played the same 3 opponents on Inferno in their matches on it. So VP, Spirit, and Mouse. Vitality won all 3. TYLOO only won 1.
Well,
so that's about a direct comparison. Same opponent, same map, 3-1 in terms of the scores.
It's this final round of the first half. TYLOO look like they're going to be the victor to this one, but you never know. It's never a done deal. We always talk about the CT advantage, but that is becoming less of a fact every single day on Inferno, I would say. But it's the opening pick there for somebody. ZywOo trying to answer back here. He has that opportunity for some of those flashy kills, not all of them landing so far, as MBK holds the same position it once was before. This yielded 4 frags, and actually the ace to finish things off. This time we've got the AK-47 instead of the M4. The AWP will rotate and back him up. Good smoke about to be deployed. Actually going to hold them off now for a substantial amount of time, and MBK can get in a more promising position. You can see them actually sensing out this B attack. They're going to go for a boost by the looks of things. RPK will go up. Certainly not ZywOo with the AWP, so they'll get the rifle up there, and they're ready for this attack. Will it come through there? The bomb's fallen back. I suggest now they probably go back towards the A-bomb side.
Somebody trying to spot back toward Emo. Knows he's there, can't get the angle, and MBK actually steps out at the same time. That throws somebody's wide peak off. Alex, however, watch out. Smoke in front of him. they've gone directly by. Oh, he's got a chance here. Excurate's already, in fact, thinking he's secure, looking the other direction on the flank, and he gets back out of that position, now uses the smoke in his advantage, didn't attack the site, and smartly so, because it'll allow the rotation for his teammates, but they rotate, take back the butt. No ifs, ands, or buts, just Summer, and he is now down by RPK. Attacker rotating back down from the apartments, does manage one further. RPK is on the defuse, he's low HP, but time is only needed, he's got it. TYLOO holds him off just long enough, and it's an 8-7 half.
An exciting half at that. We had ups and downs, clutches all over the place, and TYLOO have turned up to play. We've split it down the middle here in the first half, but can they seal the deal in the second? We'll have to find out after this break.
Welcome back to our second game of the day on the A stream, and it's dead even. It's 8-7 for TYLOO. Now, dead even in terms of the score in a 15-round half divided by 2, but not so much in gameplay. TYLOO actually did that on the T side, and they had a healthy lead that came at a narrow margin.
Pretty weird half there. Lots of strange outcomes to what looked like dead certain round to Vitality, but still, they won. Well, actually, they didn't win. They had a 4 versus 1 in the pistol. In my head, they won that. It was done. They're going to need this one to get back into it as Ben Ted spots a few towards that banana position. It's RBK that decides to fall back, though. He's got that intel that the CTs now no longer have vision down towards the bottom of T steps, and they can now make their attack towards A, where only 2 players reside. Attacker watching the apartments there at quad with Accurate, and we'll see who comes out on top as the headshot that takes down the initial player, and it looks like the round is already in the bag. We'll see if any mistakes are made at this point. Somebody desperately trying to find a frag here. He'll get it. One will be planted, though, and this is a huge advantage for Vitality. They shouldn't give this one up, but stranger things have happened on this very map.
Yeah, this very map, this very game, this very everything certainly has. Somebody was the man to do it last time. He's inside of the smoke and wants to be the first to engage this time as well. Flashed in. He'll get there, but only for one. Traded back by Summer. There's still a chance. Summer's got a double. Oh, but Alex, they never spotted him. Nearly do. Nearly turned it around before he could find the kill, but it's now down to a one-on-one with Bomb taking away.
No.
Bintet, with the kid as well, has the kill.
It's so heartbreaking for Vitality. They get 2 opening picks there. It's a 5-on-3. The bomb should have been planted quicker than it was. Somehow it falls apart on that retake. I don't even know how that round goes against them. That's 2 pistols now, and it looks like they're absolutely locked in. It's done. There shouldn't be any way back into it. But the brutal aim and aggression from TYLOO, his individual duels, look at them running into the site there. I feel like Vitality maybe were a little bit too conservative with their crossfires and allowed them to get that close. And they're going to punish you for that. Summer again, there's heads left, right, and center. Bomb planted, round lost, but Vitality do have a decent buy going forward. So next round they'll have AKs with all the utility as well, as somebody looks to shut this round down. The Incendiary, and he'll challenge off that as well. Flashbang's decent, but it actually will cost him his life. His teammate trying to back him up. That's Bentep. Gets both the frags and buys a little bit more time as he decides to fall back. So what's the next play here? It's going to be PT50 right to the dome of attack up. It's been a high fragging affair, Matt. Lots of very cool rounds being played and great shots landing, but 1 minute 20. I think Vitality do have a slight edge here. We'll see what happens.
It's been a high fragging affair with peaks of 19 and 18 on each side. The problem being that Execute has 2 kills at this point. He hasn't been involved in much of it at all. 15 ADR average damage per round for those of you who are unaware what that means. Execute, though, speak of it, and he steps it up. He finds 3 kills. In fact, not only doubling, but adding 1 further to his kill total, just as I say it.
That's
not bad.
Funny how that works sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah. I am God, basically.
Basically,
is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just, I didn't want to say it specifically, but if you're going to, then I'm happy to go along with it. As here we go then. This is where the game really gets into its final stages. Now we've got the full buy coming in from Vitality. It's 10-7, a defining moment of the game. They've got AKs across the board. Now they've got to focus on the AWP on their T side. They don't really have that world-class AWP that relies on the weapon. Like Zywoo, like we said, can use the AKs very efficiently. You're more than happy to do so. You do not need an AWP on the T side of Inferno. As we had 3 CTs, as is per standard procedure these days, just at the start of the round. And you can see RPK having to drop a smoke there. It's just a safety precaution, really. You probably can survive or run away with a knife. You want to make sure you definitely get out of there. As somebody might have this first frag, he definitely does. RPK goes down. Will he be able to survive, though? So many bullets heading in his direction. Will have to expend his own smoke at this point. Self-preservation at its finest as he jumps across again. The utility bombardment keeps on coming through, and he'll pay the price. Had to get out of that as quickly as possible, but a 4-on-4 actually favors the T side on Inferno. So LDLC, that's what Alex's name, and my brain just kind of slipped away. Vitality did have the advantage
LDLC
there.
players and some of the others too.
And here comes the boost from Zakharov, and it's going to pay dividends here. Great work. Fantastic round from them. Aggression at the start to take that RPK. It was chaotic. You could see their default goes out the window at that point. Vitality can't really do much. They're trying to find frags back. At that point, certain focus will be taken away, and that's where TYLOO can really punish and capitalize upon it and actually extend the lead and maybe force out another eco.
Well, and that's exactly the problem that they're in right now. If they had gotten a bomb plant down, they would have had enough of a surplus, if you want to call it that, to force out. I doubt they would have gone all AKs even at that point because they would have needed some utility. But they've gone for the sort of the medium buy. They've left themselves at a mark in which next round they'll be able to buy no matter what, but they upgrade slightly on pistols. Quite a full force. He's actually going to contribute to the other direction, find a kill, a team kill at that, but it's only one of 2 that's gone against them. The others have all been very successful. In fact, they're opening up the bomb site to a plant, and RPK is the one to do so. Nade will take him down, but bomb was planted first.
That could be the difference maker. If they win this round, it's because of that timing, but it's going to be a 2 versus 1. Alex, pretty handy in these sort of scenarios, pushes through the smoke. Decides better of it, though. AK-47 in hand. Needs to land this first kill cleanly to stand a chance in this 2 versus 1. He doesn't quite finish it off, but there it is. Gets it done. And Attacker doesn't push through then? I'm surprised. He had to capitalize upon that point where Alex was uncomfortable. Now giving up his position. It's going to be right down to the wire here. He does win the round, and he has got enough time to defuse there, but it was very touch and go, to say the very least. It's going to be 12-7. Vitality somehow getting all those kills towards the banana area with the P250. RPK showing as he's still got it. And that was, I believe, his 11th frag, but he got them into that bomb site, and Alex had a chance to win it. But Overall, 12-7. A lot of work to do on this T-side map. Will they bring out the orb? Like I said, I don't think they will at all, but ZywOo actually opts for it quite early on this T-side. So maybe he's got something up his sleeve, wants to get that first pick. We'll see whether there's a reply from Zakira here.
Somebody and Bintet out toward Banana. Molotov already deployed from the Vitality side, but they'll smoke it off. Standard procedure to capture middle as well. And in 30 is finally going to be somebody that pushes down. Big gap in that smoke, by the way.
Actually helps him out somewhat. As Summer, that would also help the team. The bomb gets dropped in the apartments, and at this point, surely traded out. Alex should be getting this frag, no problem. Summer continues to be an absolute nightmare for Vitality here. This is not textbook Counter-Strike, and this is what makes TYLOO so dangerous in general, man. No one is expecting this sort of ruthless aggression over and over again and going for plays you don't expect. They take the Counter-Strike rulebook and just throw it out the window as you get a clean sweep there, essentially. Attacker does go down, but such a clean round for them overall. They're going to be so pumped with that one. They haven't given anything up in this second half. That's going to be 5-0 with no bomb going down. Yes, they have maximum loss bonus. Is that enough to yield a buy here? They got 3,900 on the MBK, 35 on ZywOo, who bought the orb. A timeout definitely required, and this is do or die. If you force buy this one, you're going in with AK's Galil's basic utility. You take the eco, you're also looking down the barrel of match point coming up. So what's the play? I'm not 100% sure what the correct call would be here. I would say take the partial buy. They've been very good at pistols so far and getting bombs down. They get Deagle armor and a few bits of utility. They definitely have the potential to win the round, and they're not risking everything. I think that's going to be the best call, but a couple of AKs there already. They might be going for it.
Yeah, AKs indeed. That suggests they might. And this is TYLOO extending their legs. I mean, this is two from the Asian region today that could pick up wins against teams we looked at to be moving on quite convincingly. Vitality, Fnatic, Vici Gaming, and TYLOO being the two Asian potential victors. One of them already is. Tons of nades on both sides, just to note. Some of them being used early on, as is often the case on Inferno. Deep smoke down on Banana. And Molotov's at the top, no one inside of it. But I presume as soon as the utility removes itself from the top of Banana, yeah, they are going to push down. TYLOO wants to take it over. That's going to allow them to rotate early, but not early enough potentially because the attack is already on. The aggression in place, it's Execute with the shutdown and RPK. Now they'll get a player on to the Arch as well, and it might be the perfect time for Bintet to arrive because Attacker and Execute still slowing them down. Attacker just pushed through. Apex with his back turned has no idea. And ZywOo nowhere to go but the grave. TYLOO 14-7.
It just looks like they're on another level right now. They've just got it so synced up. They know every play they're making, every pick is so calculated. And you can see they've got the perfect setup there. They're expecting a burst play towards middle. It's the AWPer just watching Arch. He hits the shot. He falls back towards the bomb site. Molotov's towards the quad position to protect himself, then watches the library. There's no point of access to those MAC 10s. They can't find any close range duels. Everything done to perfection. And now it's 14-7. And this is the round I kind of wanted it previously because they had the 3 AK shot, but 2 MAC 10s. It wasn't ideal. They couldn't penetrate the bomb site whatsoever. So now it is the partial buy with the CZs, that 1 MAC 10, a bit of utility, and a bit of a miracle required here to bring Vitality back to life. They're going to burst out of the apartments. I assume the one-way smoke towards the hay bales will come through. Not quite yet, though, as they do get Molotov out of position and lost the first frag as well. This is TYLOO, remember, in the Swiss best-of-1 format right now. 14-7 up and in a 5-on-4 against these pistols. This is not looking good for the French boys.
RPK. Smoke to go over toward the pit side. That's where Attacker's playing. He's defender this time, and successfully so against ZywOo. That's the first test. He's actually going to work his way out from pit. That's not unwise. Smoke wall down. He knows they're likely going to focus him. He's able to support his teammates in the site. He finds one further kill, and then Summer wraps it up, and it's now map point TYLOO.
2019, Matt. Could this be the year the Asian CS finally comes together? It's very early days, and we've had 2 best-of-1 results, but I'm putting you on the spot now. Are you ready for it?
I think they're due for a consistent performance. I stressed that I thought they were trying to find too many star players spread out across too many countries within and then make a team rather than building up from the bottom and finding, like, fostering talent and then eventually getting there to a natural conclusion. I will say that there was one very arrogant pundit from another esport that predicted the Asian region would have won a major by 2018. Turns out he's wrong. Oh, so yeah, we'll just leave that out. But you're right, maybe 2019 is the year they really stepped foot forward.
Well, we've got a very small sample size so far. We didn't catch the other Vici game, but so far so good for Vitality, at least in this particular round. Zakira caught out with the CZ in hand towards the boiler room now. It's going to be a 3 versus 2, and actually the rotation's not looking too promising for TYLOO here. It will be Bente with the AK and Summer coming in towards Library with the AWP. They might as well try and see what kills are available to them. I don't think they'll necessarily go for a straight up round victory here. They can pick players off and make sure they don't save absolutely everything. That would be enough, as Bente will continue that campaign. His teammate did get dropped there, but he's just going to try and cause some damage here. Finding 2 kills, just weakening them up, maybe to save the AWP at this stage would be enough for Vitality to keep themselves in the game for now at least. And I say that because on the T side of Inferno, finding 7 rounds cleanly in a row against the way TYLOO are looking today is not looking too realistic, but we'll see. It's going to be Bente holding up for those exits. And Vitality managed to scrape around together. Maybe too little too late at this point. Remember, Vitality, yes, a star-studded roster. For those maybe who just watched the majors, you'd think this team, oh, they've got to be in the conversation to make the playoffs. Actually, no. No one's really that excited about either of the French teams that are here. They've got 10 French players in attendance, and G2 and Vitality are not really up there in terms of, oh, they could do well this tournament, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. At the same time, there is a war I could certainly see Vitality making it into the Legends stage. So it's a tough one, right? Because with the current state of the French scene, with TYLOO kind of always being an underdog performer. By the way, a lot of team kills already today. I think that's like our 5th. Also, a lot of aces. We've had 4 total. Yeah. There was one on the B stream apparently as well. We can't keep track of all those, but I caught up with it on social media. Either way, pretty ridiculous start overall. But yeah, this is a tough one, right? Both these teams could make it through, or they could both go home at this stage, and neither would surprise me. They have the capability for either.
Well, there's somebody. He used the AWP at the start of the round just to face towards second middle. For Vitality, they managed to dodge the bullets, and he'll fall back, and RPK doing the same thing as he doesn't feel too comfortable with that. Not his lesson from before when the MP9 took him down. Extinguishes the flames and joins his teammates as they continue their default here in middle. Flashbangs designed to push the CTs all back, and we'll see if that's successful here. Zywu might receive a grenade here. There's a lot of damage towards 2 players. MBK down to 58. But they have got mid control. They're pushing those CTs back. We're 4 on the A side. Still a lot of work to do here, and it looks like they're focusing their efforts towards the quad side.
They are for now, but that's not confirmed. More importantly, they've also got the rotation in place toward the arch, so that would cover off cross. AKs only, not uncommon on the T side. Inferno. Double op to go against it. 49 seconds. Probably going to be an execution explosion. Oh, that's exactly what I was going to lead to. If they're going to execute against double ops, they need to find picks. They've done exactly that, and they add to it. Summer goes around the corner, finds Zywu. Bomb goes down. It's at the exact time they need to, because now it's boot on the other foot. With 40 seconds left and the potential to explode to a bomb site, it's chaos, bomb down, and not a lot of time to recover.
Chaos has been the operative word for this entire map. It's been absolutely bananas. I've loved it. It's been great. 4 on 3 though, not for long. Bente shuts it down. He's giving the call. They're heading towards that B side. There's only 1 player there, but it's the AWP. If he hits one of these shots, that should be it. He misses the first. Can he nail the second? He absolutely can. Looking to close out the game.